Hello, this is Professor Burrows. In the last video, we reviewed how to create effective paragraphs for the social sciences, and this time we're going to continue by discussing how to create effective transitions. Two very important elements of paragraphing are signposts and transitions. Signposts are those internal aids to assist readers. They usually consist of several sentences or a paragraph outlining what the article has covered and where the article will be going. These are very useful in longer papers, especially 20 pages or longer, to again help readers keep track of what we've covered and where we're going from here. Transitions are usually one or several sentences that transition from one idea to the next. This is the type of transition that we use between paragraphs so that the paper as a whole flows. We'll also later be discussing transitions between sentences so that the paragraphs flow. Writing good transitions helps to connect paragraphs and turn disconnected writing into a unified whole. Instead of treating paragraphs as separate ideas, transitions will help readers understand how these paragraphs connect, how they work together, reference one another, and build to a larger point. The key to producing good transitions is highlighting connections between corresponding paragraphs. By referencing in one paragraph the relevant material from previous paragraphs, writers can develop important points for their readers. It's a good idea to continue one paragraph where another leaves off. Instances where this is especially challenging may suggest to you as the writer that these paragraphs don't belong together, and we'll have to go back to the outline phase to shuffle paragraphs around to make sure that we have that logical progression that we discussed last time. Picking up key phrases from the previous paragraph and highlighting them in the next paragraph will create an obvious progression for readers. Many times it only takes a few words to draw these connections. Instead of writing transitions that could connect any paragraph to any other paragraph, we want to write specific transitions that will only connect this paragraph to another specific paragraph. For example, overall, Management Systems International has logged increased sales in every sector, leading to a significant rise in third quarter profits. Another important thing to note is that the corporation had expanded its international influence. In this example, our transition begins with another important thing to note. Not only is that vague, but it's not concise, it's not sophisticated, and it's not professional. It doesn't show us how these paragraphs really relate to each other either. Remember, in a literature review especially, it's important to show how all of these ideas and how all of these studies connect to show their effect on the overall whole of the topic. So our revision, we're going to focus on highlighting key elements of the previous paragraph with key elements for the next paragraph. That gives us the transition into topic sentence that we discussed in the last video. So here again we have the original. Overall, Management Systems International has logged increased sales in every sector, leading to a significant rise in third quarter profits. These impressive profits are largely due to the corporation's expanded international influence. So here again, we have just a couple keywords to highlight the previous these impressive profits from the last paragraph with the corporation's expanded international influence, which becomes the topic sentence for the current paragraph. We have a couple other examples where you can see how this works as well. Traditional devices are like bridges between parts of your paper. These are the cues that help the reader interpret ideas as a paper develops. Transitional devices are words or phrases that help carry a thought from one sentence to another, from one idea to another, or from one paragraph to another. Finally, transitional devices link sentences and paragraphs together to smoothly so that there are no abrupt jumps or breaks between ideas. There are several types of transitional devices, and each category leads readers to make certain connections or assumptions. Some lead readers forward and imply the building of an idea or thought, while others make readers compare ideas or draw conclusions from preceding thoughts. Here's a list of common traditional devices that can be used to cue readers in any given way. Just as a reminder, these traditional As a reminder, these types of transitional devices that follow are the types of transitions that are going to help us, particularly within a paragraph. So these we use between sentences to make the sentences flow into a nice, coherent, smooth paragraph. When we are connecting larger ideas between paragraphs, then we want to focus on highlighting those key phrases or words from a previous paragraph in conjunction with the key phrases or words for the new paragraph. These transitional devices in the following lists are too simplistic to connect the bigger ideas. So again, we're going to use these between sentences. When you want to add information, here's a handy list. And again, and then, besides, furthermore, moreover, in addition, etc. A list to show readers when we're comparing information. However, nevertheless, on the contrary, etc. To prove information, we have a list here that you can reference as needed. To show exception, words such as yet, still, however, nevertheless, etc. To show time, to repeat, to emphasize, to give an example when you need to summarize or conclude, and that concludes transitions. Thank you.